During the World Cup, I returned from a business trip to find beer bottles and sunflower seed shells strewn across the floor, a strange slip dress wedged in the sofa crevice. I picked out the items, took photos, and posted them on Moments. Please claim your belongings if they're yours. The obvious infidelity garnered no likes. My boyfriend, Songyang, called in a panic minutes later. Shanshan, when did you get back? Why didn't you tell me? I'll pick you up at the airport. I snorted, listening to his act. Isn't it the World Cup these days? Since you weren't home, I invited some buddies over. Some brought their girlfriends. It got too late, so they stayed the night. I went to work early this morning. I had no idea they'd make such a mess. My fault. I'll ask whose stuff that is right away and find the culprit. I laughed coldly. Keep lying. He pleaded cautiously. Could you delete that Moment's post? It's embarrassing. People will think something's wrong with me. It looks bad. We're about to get married. If our parents see this, who knows what they'll do? I hung up with a snap. Coward, dared to do it but not admit it. Songyang and I had been dating since college. This apartment was our plan. Both families had contributed half the down payment, and we were sharing the monthly mortgage. We'd picked up our marriage certificate during the year-end but hadn't held a wedding yet, planning to do so during the spring festival. I activated my phone's camera and walked through the room. Wow, quite the scene. The bed was unmade. Items wrapped in toilet paper lay in the trash can and on the floor beside it. The bathroom was untidy too, water stains still damp, the shower head on the floor, a bar of soap in the corner. My tears fell. This young love had become a joke. Betrayal was so easy. Songyang called again. Shanshan, I found out. It was Wang Chung, that bastard. Everyone else left this morning, but he and his girlfriend stayed in our place. It's outrageous. I've already scolded him. He said he'll replace every sofa cover, bedsheet and quilt cover he touched. He wants to treat us to dinner tonight to apologize. Don't clean the apartment. I'll call a housekeeper right away. He rambled urgently. I hung up and saw a message from Wang Chung in my WeChat. Seriously sorry sis. We trashed your room. Too wasted last night, thought it was ours. Let's grab dinner tonight to make it right. What a loyal buddy. Taking the rap for him. Wang Chung and the guys arrived the night before. I'd seen their posts. Hence the beer bottles, seeds and chips everywhere. Unsurprisingly, I'd also seen their last night's posts. They hadn't set foot in my place. I sent Wang Chung the footage I just captured, starting with the slip dress and wine on the sofa, panning to the bathroom, then the bedroom. The shot landed on the trash can and scattered condoms. He replied with a flurry of panic emojis, then claimed, blacked out, can't remember. So sorry. Dead set on taking the fall, huh? Sent the video to your girlfriend too. I typed, frowning. Another panic emoji from Wang Chung. Then radio silence. Bet he's scrambling to explain and sync stories with her. I pulled out sealable bags and chopsticks from the drawer, knelt by the bedroom trash can, and worked with forensic precision. Gulping down nausea, I bagged the evidence. As I zipped the last bag, I spotted a lube bottle beside the pillow. Of course they used this. I dumped its contents down the drain, filled the bottle with our industrial-strength superglue, and, following the return to origin principle, tossed it back beside the pillow. Just then my mom called asking about my Moments post. I fobbed her off with Songyang's rehearsed excuses. Songyang's friends have no decency, Mom chided. Doing that in someone else's home. Don't they care about cursing the place? Wang Cheng's girlfriend called too, asking if I was okay. I'm fine, I said. She knew I didn't believe her. After all, she'd posted a photo last night of them eating strawberries and watching the World Cup at his place. I'd liked and commented on it. Now the post was deleted. This early return was a stakeout. When did I first sense Songyang's betrayal? Maybe his secretive phone smiles, suspiciously clean chat logs, or those overtime nights. I'd gone to his office twice, finding it dark. Doubts had taken root, growing into a shadowy forest. Today, I'd rushed home to meet the inevitable. Tears spilled as I faced the proof. I choked back sobs, cooling my rage. 6 years of love. He'd called me his sunshine, sworn lifelong devotion. I'd castrate myself before cheating, he'd vowed. Empty words, now just bitter ash on my tongue. I did want to turn him in, but the law is clear. Intentional injury causing serious harm leads to 3 to 10 years in prison. I pulled my suitcase and walked straight to the property management office. I'm familiar with the staff there. We've handled property fees, property ownership certificates, and satisfaction surveys through me. I'm even the owner representative for our unit. During the lockdown, I helped distribute nucleic acid notices daily and recorded testing statuses. When I reported the burglary and asked to view the surveillance, the property manager agreed immediately, led me to the monitoring room, and set up a dedicated computer. I fast-forwarded the footage to the end of the previous workday at triple speed. At 8 p.m., Songyang indeed returned with someone. I knew that person too well. I rubbed my eyes and stared hard, fearing a mistake. It was Huang Xiaodo, my colleague and first intern. When she joined the company, she knew nothing, and the leader assigned her to me. She was good-looking, skilled at makeup, sweet-tongued, and instantly familiar, always calling me sister. She excelled at flattery. Wow, sister, you're amazing. Every press release is flawless. You're not just a great writer but also professional and creative. You're the leader's favorite. You're like the chosen one. Sister, these shoes are gorgeous. You have such taste. She also excelled at feigning envy. When will I be as amazing as you, sister? I think writing is a gift from heaven. You're fed by heaven, while I'm begging for scraps. Brother-in-law is so good to you. When will I find a man like him? For 6 months, I taught her to write press releases and revised her drafts. She occasionally mentioned her background. Poor family, divorced parents, living with her mother, a factory worker with chronic illness, struggling financially. She was mocked for eating a lot due to poverty, vowing to work hard so those who looked down on her would one day look up to her, and to bring her mother to live with her. I smiled and said, fighting. Like the internet says. You ignored me before, but later you'll regret it. I liked filial and ambitious girls and wanted to help her. During her internship evaluation as her mentor, I gave her an S grade, ensuring the highest base salary. I treated her to meals, coffee, and snacks. She was my first trainee 2 years younger, and I cared for her like a sister. Now, sitting in the property management monitoring room, I copied the relevant footage and sighed, rubbing my temples. There are countless shortcuts in the world, why this one? Beyond a small company, Song Yang had little real influence to offer Huang Xiaodo. Could their affair really be about love? When Song Yang rushed home, I just checked into a hotel. He called. Shanshan, where are you? Why aren't you home? It's so messy. How can you call that a home? Replace it immediately. I'll ensure it's spotless when you return. By the way, why haven't you deleted that moment's post? Why delete it? No one's claimed it yet. What more claiming do you need? I told you it's Wang Cheng. Do you want him to reply on your moments? Has he no shame? Song Yang's tone was irritated, on the verge of exploding. I replied, people who do such things don't need shame. He seemed to choke, then softened. Shanshan, stop acting up. Where are you? I'll pick you up. After a pause, I said the words I'd rehearsed. Song Yang, let's break up. From first suspicion to confirming his betrayal, those words had echoed in my mind. We were legally married. Breaking up meant getting another certificate, no small decision. The wedding banquet, photos, and invitations were all set. Song Yang thought I was joking. After I hung up, he bombarded me with red packets on WeChat, from tiny unmarked amounts to direct transfers of 520, 521, 666, 888, 1314, 131452. I didn't accept immediately, waiting until midnight to claim each one. Ironically, these red packets inspired me. During our marriage, I could legally recover every cent Song Yang spent on his mistress. No matter the amount, it would disgust Huang Xiaodo enough. The next day, when I arrived at the office, Huang Xiaodo was already there. All morning, I occasionally glanced at her. She fidgeted restlessly. At lunch, she invited me to a pricey restaurant. She froze, smiling painfully. Previously, I'd always paid at such places or chosen cheaper spots when she insisted on treating. Is this okay? Too expensive. I pretended to hesitate. Sister's in a bad mood and wants a good meal. Anything for you, sister. You've helped me so much. I've never properly thanked you. She clung to my arm warmly. I recalled what I'd seen at home, suppressing nausea without pushing her away. Sister, what was that WeChat post about yesterday? Did you find the owner? No, who'd admit to something like that? Maybe it's yours? Did you and brother-in-law get carried away and leave it in a corner? Impossible. I don't have gynecological issues. That dress reeked. Probably riddled with AIDS, syphilis, or warts. My exaggeration turned her face pale. What's wrong? You look sick. Should we get you checked? No, just those diseases sound scary. They are. But nothing's scarier than being cheap. She tensed. I pretended not to notice. At the restaurant, I ordered garlic lobster, scallion crab, and spicy razor clams, ignoring her panic. Sister, that's enough. As she fixated on the bill, visibly cringing. Enough? These are all shells and no meat. Hardly filling. I sighed. Why are you being so stingy? Your sister's heartbroken and needs comfort food. I slammed the table. Damn those adulterers. Why stoop to being animals? You should spend money to console me. You haven't seen our home. Wedding photos everywhere. No decent woman would do this under the mistress's gaze. How desperate. Staring at her, I added. How can such shameless people exist? Her replies were feeble. Don't be angry, and he just made a mistake all men make, clearly defending Song Yang. As dishes arrived, she peeled shrimps, then asked casually, what will you do now? What do you mean? You just said it. All men make mistakes. She looked up shocked. I was angry, I said matter-of-factly, but I have to be practical. These days, to live peacefully, you need to tolerate some green above your head. She gasped. I thought with your character you'd never marry him. I glanced at her scornfully. Is it worth it? Just a chicken. I deliberately mumbled the last word. What? I said chicken. A slut who sneaks into homes. Song Yang's so cheap he won't even pay for a hotel. Must be a 200 yen streetwalker. You think 200's too much. Her face contorted. Don't you understand hiring a prostitute? Checkshihu, answers there. I know, but maybe it's not. Brother-in-law wouldn't. I sneered. What else? What's the difference between her and a prostitute? She struggled. Chicken is delicious. Don't insult it. I nodded. True. She's worse than a chicken. That afternoon, colleagues messaged me. Colleague, Shanshan, you had lunch with your trainee? She claimed she presented your part of the annual plan last week and said it was her work, even dissed your previous projects. Colleague B. This trainee's shady. She's been the leader's pet for 2 weeks. Does nothing but chat with him for 30 minutes daily. At meetings she's all wow leader so amazing. We're a professional team. She knows nothing but flattery. Drives me crazy. Colleague C. Glad you're back. Rein in your trainee. She mindlessly flattered the leader during a disagreement with teacher Sue, who snapped at her. Check her moments, all overtime and studying posts. Colleague D. Our leader loves the catfish effect. Wants people to challenge him. She's the catfish now. Criticizes everyone's plans like she's the only expert. I rubbed my temples. This little green tea bitch is getting bold. Stealing my man and trampling the whole department at work. But what could I do? I was just a betrayed, heartbroken woman, supposed to be emotional, irrational, and reckless. That afternoon, I left early after 2 hours and did 3 things. 1. Bought a tiny remote voice recorder no bigger than a fingernail at a computer mall. The shop owner installed the app. It worked perfectly. 2. Purchased a bottle of lubricant identical to the one by our bed, squeezing out half. 3. At home, I hid the recorder in a living room junk drawer, replaced the nightstand lubricant with super glue as I'd expected. Songyang hadn't thrown away the half-used bottle, and swapped it with the new one. Finally, I used Songyang's iPad to access his WeChat payment records. For all his deleted chats, every expense was logged. Their affair started 6 months ago, right after we got engaged. Petty cash. Daily red packets max 520, mostly 6688, occasional hotels, sex toys, and desserts. Pathetic as it was, I still recorded it all. From last night until now, Songyang has made countless calls and sent endless WeChat messages, which I ignored. When he called again to beg for forgiveness after I finished preparing, I asked him to come home for dinner. Through the phone I could feel his relief. I smiled to myself, this was just the beginning. Half an hour later he rushed home. I stood in the kitchen with an apron on, holding a spatula, a half pot of oil heating on the stove for a while, and blanched chicken feet still dripping water beside it. What's for dinner? Songyang hugged me from behind, rubbing his chin on my head. Looks like tiger skin chicken feet. Yes. I turned around and handed him the spatula. I need to use the restroom. Wait half a minute. Then pour the chicken feet in and fry them for a bit. He agreed confidently. I kindly reminded him to be careful. Half a minute later, just as I entered the bathroom, I heard his and sizzling sounds. Shanshan, he yelled frantically. I answered casually, waited a few seconds, then dashed out. There he was, crouching in the kitchen corner, oil spattering from the pan, oil pools on the floor, quite a spectacle. Tiger skin chicken feet, indeed the most chef-unfriendly dish carefully chosen. I'd even sprinkled extra water on the chicken feet when he opened the door. Songyang, are you okay? Did you get burned? I asked anxiously. He mumbled, I'm fine. I immediately switched to a complaining tone. I told you to be careful. Everyone knows wet chicken feet cause oil to splatter. Why didn't you use a lid? By then, the oil had stopped splattering, and the chicken feet were bubbling. I turned off the heat. He stood up, gasping, his face and hands covered in blisters. I should have been worried, heartbroken, regretful. But I'm no actress. I accidentally laughed. So satisfying. If only he'd been disfigured. I grabbed his hand. He yelped, begging me to let go. I suddenly remembered his burns, pushing him to the bathroom. Run cold water on your face and hands until it stops hurting. Then we'll go to the hospital. It's standard first aid, except it was December, no heating, no aircon. He bent over the sink, letting the icy water scour his skin. How do you feel? I asked. Cold? Good. You deserve it. Are you still mad at me? He smiled. I smirked silently. As he rinsed for over an hour, burns hurt. Trust me, I leaned against the doorframe, reading revenge stories on Jihu and posting a 4-image moments. His blistered face/hands showering dramatically, and the chicken feet. Caption. Someone went all out for my tiger skin chicken feet. Only visible to him and Huang Xiaodo. Minutes later she commented. Wow sis, so lucky. Brother-in-law is the best. You made up? Married couples don't stay mad. Just a chicken, no big deal. Her typing indicator flickered before. You're charismatic sis. I bet she was seething. You stay happy too, little chick. Yes, I'm done with Songyang. Betrayal is a dime a dozen on Douyin. I don't care about dignity. Just the price he'll pay and the apartment I co-own. Since he cares about his looks, we went to the hospital for medicine, then had simple noodles for dinner. That night, I ignored the elephant in the room. He kissed my cheek, promising to make it up to me. Then headed to the bathroom with his phone and pajamas. I heard shower water, him humming, occasional hisses from burns. As the water stopped, I grabbed the lubricant from the drawer, unscrewed the cap and stormed in. He turned, naked and shocked. What's? I slammed the bottle down. The lubricant superglue spilled on the tiles. I walked out as he slipped and fell, squelch, thud, satisfying. I'm single again. I milked Huang Xiaodo for more meals and drinks, costing her 2K, dumping work on her. Sis, don't worry, I'll handle it. Sure you will. That night, she helped me to a hotel, then sneaked into Songyang's bed. The spy recorder in the living room picked up everything. Moans, whispers, her plotting to steal my job. Enjoy the show, lovebirds. These two are now increasingly greedy and shameless. The more they act this way, the less psychological burden I will have when taking action. Huang Xiaodong and Songyang have been spending time together more and more frequently. Huang Xiaodong almost goes to my house every night, sleeps in my bed, and often arrives late in the morning with that man. She claims to have a boyfriend now, her eyes and brows exuding coquettish charm. I smile faintly at her, as if looking at a daughter about to get married. She hasn't disappointed me at all. Her skirts are getting shorter and shorter, her necklines lower and lower. Every morning when she enters the office, taking off her down jacket and thick scarf, it's a scene of boundless spring scenery and triumph. Sister, does this necklace of mine look good? My boyfriend gave it to me. It's visibly cheap. A 99 yuan bargain from Taobao. Sister, does this hairpin look good? My boyfriend bought it for me. It's quite nice, simple yet elegant. Your boyfriend has good taste and more importantly he's thrifty. 14 yuan for a pack on Pinduoduo. Claiming no repeats for a month. How about my skirt, sister? It looks good and shows off your legs. So sexy that your boyfriend might not be able to walk when he sees it. Huang Xiaodong is satisfied, and with my affirmation, she goes to interview a certain branch leader in her sexy attire. In our job every year at the end of the year, while each branch is making work plans for the coming year, we also conduct interviews to find highlights. Shanshan, are you letting Huang Xiaodong interview Director Cho alone? Can she handle it? A colleague asks me, what's there to worry about? I say, the bird has grown up and always needs to fly alone. I think she's been in good condition recently, almost unstoppable. The colleague says nothing more, just smiles. I also smile. As I pass Huang Xiaodong's desk, the bottle of lubricant I replaced accidentally rolls under her seat. Well, that Director Cho is quite capable, but his only flaw is being lecherous. It's rumored in the industry that many flowers in his company have been destroyed by him. But we are a platform department, and Huang Xiaodong is just conducting an interview. As long as she doesn't accept or directly rejects the flirtatious remarks from the other side, nothing will happen. I have contacted Director Cho more than once or twice in recent years, and nothing happened 3 or 4 times either. Meanwhile, during this period, Song Yang has been sending me WeChat messages every day without fail, cheating while begging for forgiveness. I've been giving him the cold shoulder, until Huang Xiaodong stealthily picks up the bottle of lubricant from the ground and puts it in her bag. I send a message to Song Yang saying let's have dinner together in the evening to discuss something. He agrees. A minute later I see Huang Xiaodong pick up her phone, type a few words and glance at me furtively. For the meeting with Song Yang, I specifically booked a booth in a Chinese restaurant with a nice environment. Song Yang didn't expect me to mention divorce. He even bought a bouquet of red roses when he came. I take the roses and place them in front of him. Roses are beautiful, but I can buy them myself. I take off the ring on my hand and put it on the roses. The diamond ring is beautiful, but I can buy that too. Song Yang, let's get a divorce. I say it calmly without any element of consultation. Every sentence is a statement. I'm not here to discuss, but to inform. Song Yang's mouth drops open in shock, looking at me in disbelief. Why? He says. I laugh. It must be the most ridiculous question I've ever heard. Why? You've cheated and you ask me why. He suddenly gets excited. Zhao Shanshan, aren't you being too oversensitive? It's just a nightgown. What does that prove? Wang Cheng has said it's his girlfriend's. And a bottle of lubricant. I remind him, testing him. I asked Wang Cheng's girlfriend, they don't use this stuff. Song Yang panics instantly but still insists stubbornly. I originally bought it to try with you. I roll my eyes. Did you try it with Huang Xiaodong first? Then plan to try it with me? He looks as if struck by lightning. What did you say? I lower my head and continue ordering on my phone. Song Yang, do you think that after doing something, you can just find someone to take the blame and no one will find out? Huang Xiaodong uses my body wash, my body lotion and sprays my perfume. Do you think I can't smell it? She even secretly took my diamond earrings the day before yesterday. Do you think the surveillance in the property is just for show? It clearly records when she enters and leaves our house and when she picks up takeout. Song Yang, did you forget what you said when you proposed? Song Yang is stunned. When he proposed, he said he would only love me for a lifetime, and if he ever cheated, he would castrate himself before I could deal with it. Now I look up at him, mockingly as if waiting for him to do so. He panics immediately. Shanshan, I didn't do anything with Huang Xiaodong. Believe me, we're innocent. She just came to our house to tell me about your Jin Kong. You know I care about you. You wouldn't answer my calls, so I had no choice. She's your apprentice and knows you best. She was giving me advice on how to win you back. I remember a paragraph I saw online before. When it comes to betrayal, as long as you're not caught in the act, you can deny it. Now I've witnessed it. Do you think I'd believe such lies, Song Yang? How can it be a lie? Can't there be more trust between people? We're married and about to host a banquet. You can't even give me this trust. I open the zipper of my handbag, take out a sealed bag with condoms, and throw it in front of him. I found this in your bedroom the day I came back from a business trip. Want to do a DNA test? I'll pay for it to see if it's yours and Huang Xiaodong's. He looks at me in shock. I then open the app of the remote voice recorder on my phone and play the recording of him having an affair with Huang Xiaodong. Even with his thick skin, he turns red instantly. Turn it off, he hisses with a frown. What do you want? I take out the printed divorce agreement and a pen, placing them in front of him. Sign it, and we'll have nothing to do with each other from now on. The dishes start arriving one after another. Song Yang strongly objects to the divorce agreement I drafted. Zhao Shanshan, have you no shame? Why should the house belong to you? I paid half the down payment. Although the monthly mortgage comes from your public housing fund, I covered most of the living expenses. Compared to your cheating, you have the nerve to talk about shame? Why don't you consult a lawyer to see if the cheating party should get less property? Why should I take half of your company? Because I accompanied you through your startup, and your first, second, and third deals were all brought in by me. Look clearly. I'm not asking for 50% of the shares, just a 100,000 yuan cash settlement. That's generous. 50,000 yuan in spiritual damages. Zhao Shanshan, are you crazy about money? Do you think I print money? Is 50,000 yuan a small amount? You're cheating with my apprentice. Don't I have any dignity? These are my terms, Song Yang. Objectively speaking, they're not harsh at all. If you don't sign, get ready for a lawsuit. The evidence of your infidelity is more than sufficient. I won't change a single word of the terms, and I'll also claim back every penny you spent on Huang Xiaodong as joint marital property. You have the whole meal to think it over. I eat slowly, ordering all the expensive dishes he used to refuse to order when we dined out, saying we needed to save money for our family. At the moment, he has no appetite, frowning as he looks at the divorce agreement. In the end, he signs it. I remind him to meet at the Civil Affairs Bureau at 9 a.m. tomorrow. It's our last meal, let's treat it as a breakup dinner. You're paying. Song Yang agrees, looking pained as he pays the bill and hurries to ask the waiter to pack the uneaten food. I smile and take a taxi away. That night, a major scandal broke out in our company. A leader surnamed Chiu and a woman surnamed Huang were having sex in a private car in the company parking lot. Due to using counterfeit lubricant, their private parts got stuck together. They urgently called 119 and were taken to the hospital. In the cold winter, they were only covered by a bedsheet. Soon they were photographed and recorded. Then Director Chiu's wife rushed to the hospital, pointing at the two under the sheet and cursing them fiercely, then slapping both Director Chiu and the mistress repeatedly. The farce was photographed and recorded again and uploaded to video websites, spreading like wildfire in all company groups. The pictures were so clear. Who else could it be but Huang Xiaodong? Our department was in an uproar. The minister raged in the group. Morally corrupt. Embarrassing. Huang Xiaodong, voluntarily submit your resignation tomorrow. How could our department have such a person? Didn't you know Director Chiu has a wife? Being a mistress knowing he's married. What's this all about? Zhao Shanshan, how did you mentor your apprentice? I send a series of crying emojis. Heaven knows I can't control this. Huang Xiaodong has been staying at my house recently. I was talking about divorce with Song Yang tonight, so she had nowhere to go. Maybe she was lonely and cold, so she went to Director Chiu's car to keep warm. The group falls silent, too much information to digest. Then countless people message me privately. Some ask what's going on, some say Huang Xiaodong and I are like the real-life farmer and the snake. Some ask if I need help and offer to introduce familiar lawyers. I sigh and thank them for their kindness, then open the remote recording app again. Song Yang is on the phone with his mother, who is hysterical on the other end, saying that guests have been invited and some gifts have been received. Now that we suddenly want to divorce, where will the Song family's reputation go? She insists that Song Yang win me back, or he might as well disown her. Song Yang says it's impossible, that I found out about his affair. The mother and son discuss for a long time and agree that the wedding cannot be cancelled. They'll just change the bride. They'll get the divorce certificate and immediately get a new marriage certificate. The next morning, I wake up to countless messages begging me not to divorce. I guess he saw the farce at the hospital and realized the changing the bride plan wouldn't work, so he's begging me to get back together. Song Yang, be a man and take responsibility. Meet me at the Civil Affairs Bureau at 9 a.m. Don't make me wait. He arrives with a beard and red eyes. Shanshan, can we not divorce? I love you. I was wrong, Huang Xiaodong seduced me. Please give me another chance. How could I forgive? I insist on getting the divorce registered. Almost immediately after completing the registration, Song Yang turns away in shame, his eyes bloodshot. Was last night's incident your doing? Did you send Huang Xiaodong to Director Chiu's bed? I frown and retort. Who do you think you are? Do I have that kind of free time? Dare to do it but not admit it. Song Yang, it's a pity you lack self-awareness. Remember to come for the certificate in 30 days, and clean out the house. I hope you move out completely. Finally, let me advise you. Stay away from those overly scheming tea art masters. The World Cup hasn't ended yet, but my 6-year love affair has. Huang Xiaodong insists on not writing a resignation letter, forcing the company to fire her so she can claim unemployment benefits. In the end, she gets her way. On the day she leaves, she asks me, "You have everything. I just stole your man. Why won't you let me go?" I blink. What did I do? Weren't all these choices yours? Life is just a series of crossroads with temptations and shortcuts, all of which are secretly priced.